tank shots echo. Kamikaze drones tear through the sky and cars are engulfed in flames. The Russians launch a massive offensive, advancing with armored vehicles, motorcycles, and light infantry in a brutal assault. They come in waves, trying to crush everything in their path, confident in their numbers and strength. But the Ukrainian army is ready. Every explosion, every drone strike turns this attack into a nightmare. Ukraine's relentless defense is just beginning. Watch the video until the end and see this offensive annihilated in real time. The adversary launched a large-scale offensive against our brigade and nearby units. We only noticed them after they had already started firing their first rounds. Immediately, our FPV drones were deployed towards them. The second vehicle was swiftly targeted by a trainee pilot. After that, we did not immediately realize that the assault had begun because only one tank appeared. Soon after, an MTLB started moving from another direction. These movements were initially unclear to us since attacking with a single MTLB is not a rational strategy. Then, right at that moment, another tank emerged and took a third route. At this point, we started understanding that the enemy was trying to scatter our firepower and artillery. At that very instant, enemy infantry began advancing toward multiple positions. While they were advancing, we launched numerous FPV drones. Our infantry fired RPGs and single-use grenade launchers. We managed to set it ablaze, but by then it had already penetrated deep enough. Now we are observing how the enemy breached our forest belt using a plow. Realizing the plow was slowing them down, they detached it and moved forward. Once we realized that stopping these vehicles with drones alone was impossible, our armored unit moved to intercept them. Our armored detachment moved in to engage the enemy tank. The moment the enemy's tank spotted our forces, it abruptly turned around and began retreating. As our tank pursued the enemy, pushing it back from the front line, the assault immediately began on buggies and motorcycles, followed by MTLBs. 2 additional MTLBs are maneuvering towards our second direction. The enemy significantly spread out our defensive firepower. Thus, we had to accurately decide where to deploy drones and where to direct our artillery. We managed this quite effectively. There was a very effective response. The enemy was injured. Every third infantryman was equipped with electronic warfare devices and pump-action rifles for drone interception. They land. But their pilots did an excellent job. Everyone from this assault group is wounded or eliminated. This is a pilot with the call sign, Sahar. Sometimes he does not know the limit when it is necessary to engage the enemy, but he performs his job very well. This is a drone strike from a different perspective. A significant detonation occurred. Immediately afterward, the movement of buggies started towards our position. We scored a direct hit on a buggy, which halted. Following that, we began to inspect the contents of the buggy before destroying them. This is Studer. He engaged the enemy effectively with a drone, ensuring that no one was pretending to be deceased. Now we see the enemy who was carrying electronic warfare equipment on his back. He immediately dropped it near the motorcycle as it was excess weight, about 12 kg. Now we observe another assault group beginning their advance to our right flank. This is the student halting the MTLB with infantry. A successful hit. The enemy retreats. Here we track the advancement of another group, who decided to shorten their route across the field. But they were detected in time and engaged by a drone with a payload and FPV simultaneously. Now we see that the enemy has several wounded simultaneously. A very large number of infantry, in all directions, groups of 5-10 began their assault. In this enemy group, almost everyone was already injured. To avoid being distracted by them, a heavy bomber called Vampire was sent to finish them off. Don't want to miss out on the next videos? Then hit like now so you never miss new content.